Hello everyone, could I please have your attention? Close your laptops, put any electronic devices away. I need your attention. Eyes to the front, please.
You've been like a fly on the wall that I just swatted with a swatter just now. You're dead to me. You're done. You're finished. And if you continue on, I will make this a viral video on YouTube. I'll pay whatever I've got to pay to make sure this message gets out about Twitch and your type on the platform. Not just bipolars, but anyone with narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic, or bipolar disorder, or worse, interest in children. And you said you were going to R-word my kids, dude. You can't tell me that was you clear of mind at the time. You threatened to come to my front door and kill me. Do you want me to continue on with what you said? You're a sick person who needs help. I'm giving you this one final opportunity to pull your fucking head in and fuck off before I take this through the legal system and have you jailed. This is your final warning. Now, off your trottle, find someone else to annoy. Goodbye. All right, guys, welcome back to another Twitch stream. I've had a lovely sleep and a lovely day, and you're selling for a very interesting night at Twitch. Okay, let's just kick it off. This bloke, all right, the Greenie Riot, is a little bit obsessed with me. Stalkery. He has been watching my streams. He has been very interested in me, and not just on a Twitch level. He also has some little minions, about 14 of them, who are all life band kids from Valorant, who are plus Yellow, Green Tea, and Crazy. My only gripes is Green Tea and Yellow, obviously. They all seem to share the same medical health issues he does, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But in the meantime, guys, this guy has been stalking me, coming into my stream, trying to muscle in on how I do things, and bots and cheaters don't exist anywhere in any game at all because, we all live in a fantasy world. This guy has been to jail. He is a burnt out sack of neurons. He smokes so much weed that it's insane. He has always been a grey collar worker. So you've got grey collar workers, blue collar workers, and then white collar workers. I come from the white collar variety. He's below the blue collars. So he's always been a very low level employee of every business. He has a inherent hate for authority and people put him where he belongs, and that's down the bottom. He's a prawn. And he's come up against me and tried to debunk everything that I've said, although, as you know, on YouTube, on my latest YouTube video on Death Valley Gaming, we have blatant evidence written, the guy writing the bot. And then the updated video of where the bots are now, right? So we have all the evidence required, irrefutable, undeniable, unarguable, and he's still trying to say that bots and cheaters don't exist in FPS games. What? So today I just would like to pretty much put an end to this fellow and his tirade and his sexual obsession with me. If you have a look at last night's VOD towards the very end, himself, under obviously some very weird, just random type buttons on a keyboard, made some false accounts and had macros with the N word, the R word, 4-letter word, ends with E and a P and an A, of children in it, and how his dislike for the N word people is extreme. along with other derogatory, horrifyingly disgusting, sick behavior. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this guy in this manner is this man has openly admitted on open stream that he has bipolar, unmedicated, and that he has a criminal record, that he has spent time in jail. He's been a receiver, not a giver, for that time while he was in there. He has been unmedicated for quite a while, and that he has consistent manic episodes, so psychotic breaks. And I'll play a video for you shortly after the first video I want to play. But I just want to bring you this guy to your attention. This guy is an extremely dangerous person to have. Oh, he's on. See, I told you, this is what he's so obsessed with me. It's frightening, isn't it? He's laughing. He's laughing at his own embarrassment. Like, the guy's sick. He needs medication. He needs to be scheduled, right? Medically speaking. He is a very, very unhealthy person. He has regular delusions. And his obsession with me is a worry. The fact he's now watching me again it's bordering on rapey creepy, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to leave him to his own devices because we don't want to feed the lost dog. Because, you feed a lost dog, it comes home with you. Let's get started on the beginning of the core content.
Yes! Twitch, or as I like to call it for the last few years, baby's first campsite. The top dog for streaming for many years. Twitch is now known for being so biased it makes CNN and Fox News cry for transparency. Lest we forget, Twitch itself banned me for 7 days for being canceled by Pokimane. And the funny thing was, I had not streamed on the platform for like 2 or 3 months. How do you get banned on Twitch if you haven't been on?
Don't ask questions.
But a woman having sex on camera with her boyfriend, whose dick was so small it can be best described as microscopic, was banned for a single day.
Titties.
It makes a lot of sense, if you don't think about it. But the world is changing. With Kick, YouTube, and Rumble nipping at their heels, Twitch is now implementing some of the boldest marketing strategies ever to combat the new competition. And that is to take a huge dump on 99% of its user base.
It's gross. It's for this.
The trickle-down effect. We call it rolling downhill and you're at the bottom. But hey, as long as Pokimane's happy, to hell with the rest of the 99%, am I right? In September of 2022, Twitch decided to change the revenue split for top streamers from 70-30 to 50-50. Smaller streamers on Twitch were hoping that the site did give them the 70-30 split because they made much less money. Well, Twitch replied by saying,
You go to hell. You go to hell and you die.
on June 6th of 2023, the greed reached massive level. They took a playbook out of Adobe Premiere. When you leave, there's a $25 fee.
If you or we terminate this agreement, a maintenance fee will be deducted from your remaining balance. The maintenance fee will be the lesser of incurred programming fees for your Twitch channel, or $25. Any remaining balance of the deduction of the maintenance fee will be paid to you. Notwithstanding the foregoing, if you ever became a sanctioned person, Twitch will withhold any programming fees otherwise due to you and take any other action required or permitted by the applicable sanction laws.
What?
Isn't it funny how you used to just stream on a stupid site? Now you need to be a low-level lawyer. You need Legal Eagle to explain to you just what the hell they're talking about, and at the long end of the short of it, you're going to pay them one way or another. I guess the 50% they took off the top just wasn't enough. And the funny thing is, what about people who don't generate that much money on Twitch? Ziltech streams on Twitch, and I think he makes $25 a month. So if they pay him, they just take his whole $25? What if he doesn't stream that much? Does he, owe them money? Anyway, if you leave the program, it's a $25 fee. You get suspended or banned, $25 fee. What the holy hell is this anyway? Someone thought this up, and a team of people looked it over, including lawyers. They all said, yes, nothing could go wrong with this, and posted it online. Twitch is killing its own platform by nickel-and-diming its users that make next to no money. This is honestly a move out of the Dark Side Phil playbook.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
Here's a look at what is no longer allowed on Twitch. in light of its new branding content guidelines. Logos on stream, brand overlays are limited 3% of the screen. Insert burned in
Yeah, your
video
sponsor now
ads.
is waste
Streamers
time.
may not insert video ads directly into their streams. Streamers may not insert display or banner ads directly into their streams. Streamers may not insert audio ads directly into their streams.
Looks like you can't make money on the side, which frankly, if it's anything like YouTube, a lot of people make more money from their sponsors than they do from Twitch itself. So doing this is the ultimate dick move. Why don't you just go to their house Twitch and drop kick them right in the dick? I mean, it's what you want. You know, you choke slam them, you elbow drop them in the neck, and then you throw them face first out the window. But please don't yell at those girls rolling around in bathtubs. They do the important work. This
Sound
move is
familiar?
so stupid, you'd think it was a bit from Office Space. In retaliation to this tone-deaf move, bigger streamers call for a boycott of Twitch. It's kind of interesting. You know, UPS, hardworking people are boycotting because they're underpaid. And multimillionaires are upset and they're like, we're gonna boycott too. Aspergold threatened to stream on another site. I'm gonna stream elsewhere, but I'll still come here sometimes and stream. Mr. Beast hinted at streaming on Kick, and Elon Musk tweeted about possibly making Twitter a viable streaming platform to take on Twitch. It wasn't a very good day for them. Everyone showed up to kick them right in the sweetness after they finished kicking everyone else in the sweetness. Like all other social media platforms drunk on power thinking that they're completely and utterly untouchable, they fold like a stack of cards under the slightest bit of pressure. Vive la resistance! Death to the aristos! Eat the rich!
Today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. We do not intend to limit streamers' ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors, and we understand that this is an important part of how streamers earn revenue. We wanted to clarify our existing ads policy that was intended to prohibit third-party ad networks from selling burned-in videos and display on ad Twitch, which is consistent with other services. This missed the mark with the policy language and will rewrite the guidelines to be clearer. Thank you for sharing your concerns, and we appreciate the feedback. We'll notify the community once we've updated the language.
Oh, yes, that's it. It was a language that was alarming and backwards, not the policies you were set to put in place. And I have a feeling that if nobody pushed back on this, Twitch would have been like, haha, this is for the betterment of everyone else because we care so much about you. Oh my God. We care so much that we want to charge you money for leaving. Frankly, if I was Twitch, I'd be worried because from what I can tell, a lot of Twitch dots have been moving to Kick because it allows them way more freedom to sell on. Just when you think you're done editing your daily cringe, Twitch does something else stupid. A Twitch staff member goes into Tedward's chat, a popular streamer slash YouTuber that gives tips on streaming. And they proceeded to tell him that he was wrong, but he was also not wrong, while also being wrong. As I've said many times before, all of this makes sense if you do not think about it.
I love you, but I would also love to talk to you one-on-one one time. The but is that I think you have a lot of good ideas, but you're missing so much. No is saying you're wrong about anything. Maybe, is that no one? Is that a typo? No one's saying you're wrong about anything. You just have so many assumptions that are way off. No one's saying you're wrong about anything. You just have so many assumptions that are wrong. I don't understand those two sentences going side by side. I mean, I love you guys over at Twitch. No hate over here, but we're all frustrated. And honestly, coming into a stream and saying, sorry man, you're wrong, doesn't fix anything. I'm happy to be told I'm wrong. I'm not upset about it, but I know a lot of people making assumptions are making wrong guesses. Talk to people, be open about stuff, and fix stuff. Again, not saying you're wrong. Not saying you're wrong, but then a minute and a half ago you said you just have so many assumptions that are way off. I have a chat history. We saw that you said that. And again, it's fine. Like, I'm trying to drop the conversation. It's just weird that now you're like hijacking my chat and making this weird. You cannot ban staff.
Ain't that a B?
Oh my gosh. You tried to ban me? Of course I tried to ban you. Anybody would get banned for doing what you're doing right now. This is so weird.
I have to admit my give a damn broke. It's just another day, another crappy social media platform, going ever further into the Orwellian future that we now live in. and I'm supposed to make it funny on some level, as I myself could barely scrounge together the money I need to buy a home. My God, I can't wait till we have a civil war, and I can tell kids about the Battle of Dave Buster's, or the boycott of the millionaires versus the billionaire platform. Oh, it was a crazy time to be alive in America, little Jimmy. People with no problems creating problems for themselves. It's horrible. Now eat your bug soup.
Okay, guys. So look, let's bring this into context. Twitch's CEO looks like Richard Branson's grandfather. I'm not shitting you for a second, like a cowboy version of him as well, right? He's probably about 80 something and he streams still, right? Because he's yeah. Anyway, so Twitch is as bipolar as this greeny right and yellow and green tea are, right? The trinity of stupidity and psychosis. That's what I'm calling them now. So, guys, look, when we're talking about this kind of mental health condition, it's actually quite a very dangerous one. Actually, more dangerous than a psychopath or a sociopath. Because at least a sociopath is in control of their narcissistic, hateful behavior. So as a psychopath, they intend to hurt you and they make it very obvious. Where bipolar can't control it. And when they go off the deep end. And we've witnessed on Mr. Greeny's channel his manic episode the other night, where I soon after hopped into his Discord after watching it for about an hour, laughing my ass off with how triggered he was that he was going to threaten to murder me, rape the kids, come to my front door, stab me to death, that I'm delusional, and that just so many other things. I'm not even going to just give him the benefit of anything. He was having a full psychotic episode. So I want to show you this video, which explains it in medical depth and just fact again, right? Just like the YouTube video I put up about the bots. Please watch. This is very, very interesting information, and it'll help you understand whether you should be in his community or not, or whether you should have already reported him for what he did last night, because that is the whole entire situation we have with Twitch as a platform. It's run by bipolars and schizophrenics and psychopaths and sociopaths and narcissists, and obviously people that identify themselves on the community mod team as a deer. Yes, a deer with antlers, acts like a deer on stream. And she's non-binary, by the way. So he's running Twitch.
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder that is characterized by alternating periods of depressive symptoms and elevated mood, termed either hypomania or mania. Most people experience normal ups and downs, but in bipolar disorder, the range of moods is greater than normal and features extremes. We'll come back to this graph, but first we need to define depressive and manic symptoms. According to the DSM-5, depressive symptoms include a low mood, anhedonia, meaning a loss of interest in previously enjoyed activities, diet or sleep disturbances, experiencing low energy levels that may even make getting out of bed too much, psychomotor retardation, feeling worthless and inappropriately guilty, and losing the ability to concentrate. In severe cases, there can also be thoughts of death and suicide. Then there are symptoms of mania or hypomania. These are features of an abnormally elevated mood. Mania is more severe and impairs day-to-day functioning and may include psychosis, leading to a misdiagnosis of schizophrenia. The DSM-5 lists the criteria for mania as at least 3 of diminished need for sleep, a sense of grandiosity, meaning being superior or better than others, pressured speech, racing thoughts or ideas, distractibility, increased level of goal-focused activities, and excessive risky pleasurable activities like spending sprees, sex,
like deleting
or
VODs
gambling.
after you completely
For
break all
mania,
the platform
this must
rules.
last at least 7 days and be enough to impair normal functioning or pose a threat to others. Hypomanic episodes
Which
are
you use as
similar,
a threat to
but
me
need
and
only
you
4 days
right now.
and are observable to others, but do not cause impairment in functioning. Based on these, there are 3 main types of bipolar disorder. Bipolar 1, which can be diagnosed with a single episode of mania because it is given that a depressive episode will eventually occur. Bipolar 2, where there is at least a single depressive episode and 1 hypomanic episode. Then we have cyclothymic disorder, sometimes considered as mild bipolar disorder, where there are depressive and hypomania-like episodes that do not quite meet the criteria for major depressive episodes or hypomanic episodes. Some people will fluctuate quickly between the 2 extremes, with 4 or more episodes of either mania or depression in 1 year defined as rapid alternating, while some can experience both depressive and manic symptoms at the same time. Bipolar disorder has a lifetime prevalence of around 1 to 3%, with males and females being affected approximately equally. It most commonly starts in late adolescence or early adulthood. The exact cause of bipolar disorder is not known, but it is thought that there are multiple factors. Genetically, there is a link between a family history and an increased risk of bipolar disorder, with studies quoting up to a 10x risk if a first-degree family member is affected. If one parent is affected, the likelihood of developing the disorder is 15 to 30%. However, if both parents are affected, this rises to between 50 and 75%. But this doesn't mean a family history guarantees development of bipolar disorder. There are environmental factors such as significant stress like death or illness, as well as other stress factors like relationship or financial stresses. The treatment primarily involves management of the acute phase and stabilization over the long term, as there is an increased risk of suicide in bipolar patients. Psychotherapy, including cognitive behavioral therapy, which is useful in preventing long-term relapse, is effective on depressive symptoms, and interpersonal therapy is another option. However, they have not been shown to be as effective when treating manic episodes. Psychoeducation also helps with relapses and involves learning about mental health and well-being. Medication is frequently used, including multiple different classes. Mood stabilizers like lithium, with it being shown to be particularly effective in acute manic episodes and also helping to prevent relapses and bipolar depression. However, it does require monitoring as it can have side effects involving the kidney and the thyroid. Other options include carbamazepine, lamotrigine, and valproic acid, which are anti-epileptic medications. Antipsychotics are used more commonly in the manic episodes, such as haloperidol and olanzapine, and it has been found that a combination of mood stabilizers and antipsychotics are more effective than using either class alone. Antidepressants are another class, but they are not typically used alone as they can trigger manic episodes or acceleration of cycles, but they may be used alongside mood stabilizers in some cases. Olanzapine and fluoxetine is a combination therapy approved for treating bipolar depression. Other treatments include electroconvulsive therapy, where convulsions are induced by electric currents, but this is only really used in resistant cases or cases that are extremely severe. Similar to electroconvulsive therapy, there is transcranial magnetic stimulation that uses magnetic waves instead and is less powerful than ECT and can be done without general anesthesia.
Bit rough, isn't it? So, guys, look, I genuinely, honestly, and sincerely pity this guy. The fact he would have to have electrodes stuck to his head and his brain shocked. The fact that, you know, you got to stick a magnet to your head just to get your brain to kind of work properly for a little while. The fact he's got to be on antipsychotics and he's using marijuana in placement of the correct medication is heightening his mania on a much more regular basis. He's slipping into psychosis on a far more regular basis than one would want to hope they would want to have to experience. This guy's creating a reality that doesn't exist. He's living in a world of his own. He is manipulating and playing with children's heads. These children are very, very, very easily manipulated. And he's using that to his advantage. These kids are also ostracized exiles from gaming. They've done this to themselves. There's no, pity me bullshit going on. These kids have done this to themselves after multiple warnings. Rah. They've gone and done it to themselves. They've already got their own mental health issues or social issues at home. And I pity those kids too. And I've already said that before. And that's the thing, right? All children need discipline and to be put in their place. That's what parenting is about. If your child has a mental health disorder, you need to understand that you've got your place in the world, in the family unit. You're not the boss. You're not the bottom of the hill. You're just a child, and you don't need to do what you've got told to do by your parents. That's just the rules of life. And guys, this is the whole thing too, is that people like this greedy fellow, he never grew up in a stable home. That's very clear. He never got, obviously, until he's maybe late 20s, diagnosed correctly. His whole entire life, he has hated and despised any kind of authority or intellect above him. He has grandiose beliefs of himself where he believes that he is above all else, that he is better, smarter, and anything that comes into his mind is right. And that's just a blind, closed-minded approach to reality. It's delusional. It's grandiose. It's removing yourself from reality, and then transference is what it's called. Transferring your mental state onto others and effectively manipulating and brainwashing them to believe what you're saying is true, right? And this is when we talk about sociopaths, narcissists, master manipulators at what they do. So this guy has obsessed over me, overly goal-orientated, right? Dangerous to others. Yeah, it was all covered in this video here. He has demonstrated all of this textbook, all of it. And this is the concerning part. He has children who are following him. I don't care at all about his manic mental behavior. I pity him. I feel really sorry for him because it's a lifelong affliction that he's stuck with and will never recover from. And I sincerely feel for you, mate. Or buddy, you're not my mate. But you need to also be a responsible 40-year-old adult and take your medication and stop smoking weed and get a job. You are the epitome of all things wrong with society. You are acting as a 15-year-old in a 40-year-old man's body. So, look, buddy, it's just time for you to realize what you did last night on my stream was beyond manic. That was just purely psychotic. 90% of those macros were from you and the fake accounts you made. Yeah, I'm an IT guy, dude. I know a lot more than you'll ever know. Okay? You had maybe 3, 4 of your little minions come in. We know who 2 of them were already. The fact that one of your community members reached out to my daughter to apologize on your behalf and was shocked and horrified by your behavior. No, that person will not be named. And had an extensive conversation with her and showed me, by the way, and apologized to me too. Should show you how out of control you truly are. When your own community's turning on you for what you're doing. Do you understand that you need to be scheduled, you need to be medicated with antipsychotics and housed for a period of time until you stabilize? You are a danger to the children that follow you. And if you are 18 to 20 years of age, I am 44 years of age, kids, you are children to me still. Until you are 25, you're a young adult. Okay? I'm a college teacher as well. So yes, you are kids to me. It's just sad to see that the platform itself is directly reflective of people like him. They are running the platform in the way in which he behaves itself. Twitch has been dying for 2 years now. Every single big streamer has left. Asmongold is now on YouTube, doing live streams on YouTube. And yeah, Mr. Beast boycotting Twitch. Woohoo. Biggest social media celebrity in the world. Sponsored by corporations that you couldn't even fathom to understand how deep their pockets are. To throw money at people, buying his staff a neighborhood. Yeah. He, an elitist, also boycotted this Richard Branson's grandpa's website. All that is left is these anime emote basement dwelling freaks. Just scroll on any stream, you'll see 90% of them, maybe a bit more than that, are these animate things with people talking behind them and animating a cartoon face. That's creepy. I don't care how you say it or see it or think it. It's creepy. Then you've got your guys, your beardy weirdies, you know, who sit in their dark little computer room with just the screen light and a little webcam playing computer games to make up the rest. Then you've got the 3% of us who are actually professional streamers who go to the extent of what I do. Use real cameras, proper lighting, proper green screen, proper microphone setup, proper screen setup, hardware to suit the streaming needs, which is a 12-core processor, high-powered video card, extremely fast RAM, a top-end motherboard, and power supply, and all in a full tower case. So I get the best cooling possible, especially in summer. Somebody who's planned out their set. Somebody that has spent the time putting in the effort to then create this for you as well. Hi, on a separate camera. Not a webcam, a camera. I have a Fujifilm X-T30 I'm talking to you on now, and a Panasonic G7 over there. They are cameras done professionally. There is a very big difference between being a professional streamer and getting real views and paying for follows, chatbot, whatever else. How do you think half this macro stuff's happened? What, he's going to type that all up himself and write the macro? The guy has as many brain cells as an amoeba. He wouldn't have any idea. He's using ChatGPT to do it all for him, and he's copying and pasting it with the chatbot he got with what he bought with the follows. So this guy's probably bought about, I think it's about 900 follows in the last month, or month and a bit, 700 and then 200. He has probably realistically about 61, 62 actual real followers. The guy's a fraud. He's fake. He's not a real streamer. He's been doing this since January, and he's going to say and do whatever he needs to do to manipulate and people and make them think that he's awesome. But then you see his late night streams where he's manic, obsessing over me like a lost little puppy who wants to be my Yeah, because he's into men. And the admiration, I think, turned to hate pretty quickly because, well, bipolar, right? One minute he's way up there in La La, having the time of his life, and then kind of slipping into a bit of La La land, like the grandiose, this is cool. I'm actually, friends or whatever, following and subscribed to a streamer that's gone pro, or the pro setup at least. Very small following, but the thing is, what you do not know is the background of my stream, the history of my stream. I have worked alongside Riot for almost 4 years, removing that many people from the game on a permanent basis. I have also helped take down 15 hackers with obviously Riot's help and directive and power to do so. I have helped take down more than one massive holy grail hacker site with Riot's help as well. So you say I don't get anyone banned. All the people in your stream, in your community, 90% of them are life banned by me. So you can't continue to live in this grandiose little la-la land dream, buddy. You need to come back to reality. You need to get on your antipsychotics, get your head straight and come back to reality. If you ever perform anything like this on my stream ever again, I will be having you charged with actual crimes. Because that's hate speech, buddy. That's racism. That's discrimination. And that is just downright sick sociopathic behaviour. That is enough to get you scheduled already. No, I have not gone to a solicitor today. I chose not to. I'd rather have covered this first. I would have rather given you the opportunity to either shut your stream down or back the fuck off and find someone else to needle pick at with your little snickery narcissistic laugh that you're putting on, although you're hurting inside and you're angry inside when you're doing it. Basic psychology, buddy. Your body language just screams you're in pain. Make this the last interaction we ever have, or the next one will be by subpoena to court. This is not a threat, it is a promise. You have broken multiple Australian and New Zealand Commonwealth laws. We are both under the Westminster legal system. Maybe do some learning about legislation and what crimes you've actually committed. You've slandered and defamed me as well on your stream. You threatened violence with intent to murder. You've done it all. And there are witnesses that I will get subpoenaed to court that will, in a Supreme Court, not a local court, buddy, a Supreme Court will have to tell the truth under a federal court jurisdiction environment to Her Majesty's or His Majesty's representatives in the Downing Centre in Sydney, across from Castlereagh Street, the big boy court. You will end up not being able to obtain a Section 14 mental health pass. You will be put in for a psych test, and you will end up, well, you know where you're going to end up, buddy, all right? You won't go into a mental ward of a hospital. You'll go in for criminal contempt of court and criminal proceedings. You will go to jail for a very long time. And these kids, under digital law, will also be charged and most probably put in juvenile jail. That's how the law actually works, guys, because I teach it at college. That's something that none of you know anything about me about at all. Yeah, I teach business, I teach marketing, HR, blah, 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 blah. But I also teach law because it's part of business. It's also part of common law, which is a requirement of understanding how to run business at all levels, from sole trader, to small business, to medium business, to large business, and then into corporate. I'm qualified across all business archetypes and architectures, including operational and tactical leadership. I've also been in those roles for 10.5 years in the industry of my choice at the time, in the corporate world, dealing with some of the richest people on the face of the planet. And guess what? Some of those clients were Grocon, Abbey Group, the biggest builders in Australia. Oh, imagine. You have no idea what I'm capable of and what I know. You have no idea of my knowledge set, and you have no idea of my grasp of the law. This is your final warning to cease and desist. This is your last opportunity. I will not be giving you another chance. I hope I've made myself extremely clear, because the next actions will be arrest. You're in New Zealand. You're part of the Commonwealth. You will be arrested for the crimes you've committed if you continue to persist. A second more. I hope I've made myself extremely clear. I will have you scheduled if this continues, and you will be medicated and held in custody until you've stabilised. I will then, once you've stabilised, approach a solicitor and have you formally charged for court hearings. Then you will be right of mind by that stage and stable to go to court. Have yourself a lovely day, Mr. Greenie Riot. And his community, doesn't matter what age you are, digital law encompasses all age groups. This is not local cops. This is federal law. If you act in this manner and you support and obey this person, you are guilt by association and guilty by association, because you have supported and abetted that behaviour yourself. You've done it too. Juvenile jail does exist for you kids. It's not a fallacy. You can be put in jail. There's no question about that. And if your jail sentence is, let's say, 10 years and you're, 3 years to your 18, guess what? You go to big boy jail on your 18th birthday. Happy birthday, kid, for supporting somebody who is mentally insane. Think about it. Grow up. Because if you do not, you will end up just like him, a burnt out sack of neurons at the age of 40 who has been in jail and been on the receiving end of a big person for months and years on end, to then come out as a burnt out, broken shadow of the person that you once were. If you had not developed any kind of mental disorder prior to that, you would have definitely by the time you come out, especially in an Australian jail. You kids need to understand there are very clear lines in this world. And following people like him 100% of the time leads to disaster. Without fail. There is no happy green grass on the other side situation here for you. It is nothing but horrifying endings. History repeats itself. I've had kids in my classroom that have been to jail, yes. A couple have confided in me, had severe depression. One had developed, I can't remember what the disorder was, but flashbacks basically of things getting done to him. Seeing a guy get shivved right in front of his face. And that was in the meal room, in the meal hall. You kids have no idea about what's going on in the real world. You follow people like this, you're going to find out in the worst way possible, and you're going to waste and ruin your lives in the process permanently. And then you end up like him, living in a share house with some random druggo like him, and nothing else, no one else in your whole life. And getting on a streaming platform that's dead, just about, to then be made a complete mockery of in front of the whole entire planet. We have to do something about this now, clearly. You kids are out of control, because the schools teach you to be. No consequences for my actions. Well, there are. Ask local cops. Go to a local cop station and say, can I talk to someone like this? Cops going to laugh in your face and go, mate, come here, put the cuffs on you now if you're going to do that. It's not a fucking joke. Blokes like this, he was born with this genetic disorder, which is super sad. He was already predisposed to it from birth. That's why I pity him. I feel sorry for him, because he can't escape the living hell he's in. The disorder has also been obviously exacerbated by his time in jail for the stupid shit he did. He's late onset diagnosed bipolar 1 as well. So it had fully developed maybe from 3 to 2 to 1 before he even got diagnosed. And that's sad. He may have been able to get medicated early on and have a lot of this offset. But he has chosen to stay off the medication. He has chosen to head down this path, and he has chosen to end himself up in jail and smoke a shit ton of weed and fry his brain. Yes, marijuana does permanent neurological damage to your brain. Don't let anybody tell you any different. All drugs do, especially drugs like Molly, pills. Mushrooms your brain, puts holes in your brain. Cocaine literally eats away your cerebral cortex. Ice fractures your cerebral cortex, and who you were is no longer ever going to be there again. Something else takes your place, like a demon. It's horrifying. Okay, heroin. Jesus, watch Train Spotting. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks, Scuffed. Look, guys, I'm not here to poo on anyone's parade. I'm just here to say it how it is, since I have since the start of this. I have kept my follower count down. So what I did was under cover. It wasn't publicly advertised, obviously. Now, my time with Riot has come to an end recently. The CEO is the problem. He will not, of Riot Games this is, he will not do anything to fix the problem because it's a dead IP already. They're running it out. Okay? The MMO hasn't even started being developed yet. I'm on top of everything, guys. You got no idea what I know and what research I've done and where I'm at with all of this. Okay? I'm miles ahead of everyone, just like I was with Star Citizen. 7 months ahead of all the breaking news and finally the developers accepting the truth about dynamic server meshing. I was 2 years ahead of that. 2 freaking years, because it's industry knowledge and technical prowess and professional knowledge of things that I have accrued over many, many, many years of my life. Over 20 plus years. Already pointed out it was impossible to happen. And guess what? I was right all along, and I'm right all along about this too. Just accept sometimes that people know more than you do. Accept that learning is so much more important than talking or using your fingers on a keyboard to write crap to people, because you're keeping yourself ignorant and uneducated, which is super dangerous for you with the digital future we've got. I've already discussed AI. I've already discussed we've only got a couple of years left before everything freaking changes forever. And people like the Greenie Riot literally don't mean shit to anyone and will be a digital leper. Do you kids also want to be digital lepers? Do you want to end up like him with no platform in which to speak on, to have a voice on, to have an opinion based on, even if it's via email? And have it heard by anyone who's actually going to want to respond to you? Or do you want to be someone that actually makes a difference and is heard and can buy a home or a car or a nice watch, whatever it is? What do you want to be? The biometric leper or the biometric successor? Think about that for a minute, because that is exactly what is literally happening in this world. And animals, subhumans like this, will not be part of it. Governments, business, and society have already made that extremely blatantly clear. There will be lepers and there will be successors. That's it. Black and white. Zeros and ones. That's how the digital world works. Get on board or get off. If you're going to get off board now, just get off the internet altogether. Seriously. Because this shit will turn on you before you know it. Like, it's facts. Anyway, guys, look, I wanted to make this very clear that I will not tolerate one more second of the bad behavior on the platform. Twitch itself has failed massively and has breached its own policies and procedures and has abated Australian digital cyber law by not taking care of this matter in a timely manner. So let's make it very clear. Twitch is in breach of Australian law right now. I've put all the correct reports in since. That was done yesterday, Greenie, just so you're aware of the timeline of when everything's gone in and you're kept in the loop. So if you do receive an email from Twitch saying you're life banned, sorry, buddy, but you shouldn't be on the platform to start with. And if you don't get one, that just means that Twitch is more inherently like you are on a manic day on a regular basis than any other platform, business, anything in the world. And we see this with Twitch dying. And it's people like you killing Twitch because that's just how it is. Okay, psychos support psychos. You're all band together. We know this. This is historical-based evidence that everyone knows about. Okay, it's like cops. They stick together. Yeah, you're just your own breed. You're a subspecies of human. You're not normal humans. And you find another one like you, and you magnate towards each other like moths to a flame. Yeah, this is the problem though. Is if you just took your fucking meds, we wouldn't be in this situation. You wouldn't be getting made a fool out of in front of the entire internet, and will very much soon to the rest of the world. You mess with the wrong person, buddy. And I warned you, didn't I? And I warned you again, just like you cheating kids who have lost your accounts for life. I warned you, and I warned you, and I warned you. And you didn't listen. And look at where you are now. Life has consequences. Bad behavior has to be rectified. Our society, all right, so let's make it very clear. Psychotics and bipolars and sociopaths and narcissists. I spent $5,000 doing a course out of my own pocket to learn how to deal with these people on a psychological level. All right, it's a professional course. Aside from my qualifications, to learn how to deal with these people in the workplace for over 20 years. Do you think, Greenie, in any way, you are my equal or my match? Really? You're my intellectual inferior in every possible way. You will never, ever reach where I am as a human being. I am studied. I'm an academic. I'm experienced. I have all the things you don't. And stickability is one of them. You're not going to ever beat me. You're never going to be anything like me on my level, ever. You chose the path you chose. You chose to get off medication. You chose to destroy your own life and go to jail. You chose to ruin your brain with excessive amounts of drug use. That's on you, buddy. And you're never going to recover from that, plus the unfortunate genetic disorder you've got, which is super sad. And I genuinely, from the bottom, middle, top, and all of my heart, wish you luck. But dude, you've got to get on your medication and get stable. Because it's your life you're ruining, buddy, not mine. You've been like a fly on the wall that I just swatted with a swatter just now. You're dead to me. You're done. You're finished. And if you continue on, I will make this a viral video on YouTube. I'll pay whatever I've got to pay to make sure this message gets out about Twitch and your type on the platform. Not just bipolars, but anyone with narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic, or bipolar disorder, or worse, interest in children. And you said you were going to R-word my kids, dude. You can't tell me that was you clear of mind at the time. You threatened to come to my front door and kill me. Do you want me to continue on with what you said? You're a sick person who needs help. I'm giving you this one final opportunity to pull your fucking head in and fuck off before I take this through the legal system and have you jailed. This is your final warning. Now, off your trottle, find someone else to annoy. Goodbye.